Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 11, which is likely going to be our penultimate episode of Weaver's Pillars of Ink. I am Mare, I use they, she pronouns, and I am your game master for this game. As always, as we go, every week we'll go around, say, hey, hi, who we are and who we are playing, and then going into our recap. So this week we are going to start with RJ.
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Hale. We both go by he, him. He is a menace, and I am also a menace.
The RJ pose.
Hi, my name is Amber. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Mariana Cross, who goes by she, her pronouns.
Abhishek.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Abhishek Matange. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Vago Viator, aka Gwen, who uses they, them pronouns.
And last but not least, Angela, who will also do our recap.
Hello there, lovely beings, lovely travelers, wanderers, and those of you who are here and wondering what the hell is this? They're nerds. Might as well watch them. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be playing, for the second to last time, Luz del Valle, otherwise known as Lucia Villette. So, launching back into the world of Pillars of Ink, everybody. So, last session was a bit of I don't want to go straight to chaotic start, but it seems as though levity was in the air, and that both Hale and Luce, in watching Vago and Mariana have some sort of conversation about hiding information from us until it was the appropriate moment to bring it out and share. Both of us realizing neither of them are very good at that, decided to essentially do mom and dad role for the first bit of the session, and having some good conversations with each other. We decided to head back to Sybil's place. We cleaned up, got ourselves in a bit more of an adjusted state, and started figuring out how we were going to handle ink supplies while beginning to make our trek south, because I had lost my ink because I died, and it was a bad roll for me in terms of what I lost. But encountering travelers, passing by woods with metallic towers and region that are dotting this region, the whole metal forest actually. I believe that there was a mention either on stream or off of essentially being kaiju creatures in there, and
there's two kaijus in that area.
Yep, we dodged a titan, which otherwise is known as a moose, and we found ourselves making our way to the next town south, the stone town of faded banners, guard towers every now and then. Pretty much a small, regular town with really not too many people in it. I believe it was capped at around 150 people, and found ourselves making our way over to meet Mara, the local print weaver at her residence, who informs us about the dreaded titan known as the Moose, and mentions another print weaver who we can very likely take up residence with for at least a short time over at Slaughter Creek, which is closer to the trench, our final destination we're hoping to get to for the purposes of recovering our loved ones. Now, while we were in this small town, I'm forgetting the name of the small town, someone else wants to fill that part in, but while we were in this town, we did happen to stop by the tavern, or the inn, and inquire with...
Well Hollow.
Well Hollow. Bless you. I believe you were also the one who named it, so thank you.
No, she named the inn.
Oh, she named the inn, the water drop inn, correct. We discovered that, well, actually not even discovered, we kind of got confirmation that Heron has passed by here at some point. It's not just it could have been a coincidence, someone who looked kind of like him. Vago, being Vago, checked in with people with the usual intensity and subtlety of an iron hammer being slammed against a blacksmith's forge. And we have confirmation Heron has been around here. Took some time to rest and enjoy a drunken evening of Tom Jones renditions as done by Hale. And found ourselves heading south, passing by several landmarks that Mariana had actually seen throughout her journey. Overhearing a large screech from a bird of prey that began first attacking Hale, at least he thought it was, and then realizing that it was from Alvar from Perth. And we received a package with a missive from Professor Villette, telling us that the magic used in the runes did involve transportation of ink, and the ink is pulled directly from the earth in the area affected by the runes, which in turn, as we prodded her, led to Mariana giving us a rundown of what happened to captured travelers. Grisly things. The phrase made an example of was used euphemistically. It was great. Really great. It was really terrible. I'm probably scared shitless at this point as a player. As a character, no fucks given. That is, I believe, where we left off, just kind of on... Still heading over there, still on our way, and...
Yeah.
Oh boy, we're heading right into the Hornet's Nest.
Yeah. So, as a reminder, everybody, this game is a Gothic Souls-like tabletop RPG that may contain and does contain themes of death, rebirth, and violence. This session might be okay. We'll see how it goes. But just as a heads up, your safety is important. If you need to step away, please do so. And if you need to see the content warning again, ! InkCW can be put in chat. Okay. We start off with the four of you heading from Well Hollow to Slaughter Creek, which is the closest settlement to the trench where Mariana is from. Mariana, now as you're starting to traverse more recognizable land and landmarks, you do remember that when Slaughter Creek is actually like a day and a half by cart from the trench. So you'll have one night between Slaughter Creek and home. We come back into the scene very close to Slaughter Creek, where you have found another one of your landmarks that you wrote down in your notebook, the apple orchard.
I want to go there.
Yes, the apple orchard, where it's kind of like the tail end of did I ever actually give a season on what the season was to all of you?
So
I don't think so. We're going to say it's the tail end of summer
Mm.
in that case. And this apple orchard is filled with fresh, ripe apples. Even though it is not apple season. But yes, Mariana, you found the apples.
I was hoping we would find the apples. I don't think there's anybody taking care of these apples. I don't know who lives here. We could maybe take care of 5 or 7 of these apples.
I want something greasy.
I
But
mean,
apples will do.
it'll make your teeth feel better.
Will it though? That they're very rough and crunchy and
Yeah,
You know what?
it's like cleaning them off.
you should come back to Perth in the winter when we have both honey and apples. We make a very good honeyed mead apple cider.
Gimme.
Can't hear you.
Okay. What's mead?
Mead is essentially an alcoholic beverage with honey as its base.
Oh. I don't think I would like that.
That's fair. That's fair. Bushel of apples for the road.
Biscuit looks incredibly interested in said apples.
Well, I mean, if Biscuit said that we have to go, if we have to go, we gotta go. If Biscuit says it's gotta be so, you know? So with everybody's permission, I will steer whomever, Hale or I'm assuming I'm driving since you're hungover, but
Oh yeah, Hale's like in the back, just like
this
leaned
is
over
like
the
days
front.
after. This is
Oh, it's days after?
Yeah,
Oh, it's-
you're like it's a couple days in.
Okay, gotcha.
If
But
you-
yeah,
to be fair though, with the amount you drank, you might still be hungover. Who knows?
Who said the party's over?
Oh God,
Your liver did.
your liver. Yeah, your liver did.
If
That's-
anything, Mama loose.
Also me.
I was like, Dad, please no, please stop.
What's the worst that can happen? I die of liver failure? I'll just come back.
I'm not dealing with a print list because you couldn't handle your drink.
I can handle my drink plenty.
I just imagine.
Anyways.
I
How
just
many fingers
imagine.
am I holding up, Hale?
Vago squints their eyes and Hale's comments like,
I need glasses. Sorry. Continue on.
Mariana will pull the cart over to the orchard and hop on out. And I mean, I'm assuming I'd probably investigate when I got here the first time, but I probably, like, I looked around enough to know that there doesn't seem to be a caretaker's house. So
They were delicious last time you were here.
make myself at home.
Y'all can take as many apples as you want. Nothing's gonna happen here.
This was just
Think-
very important. And not at all stalling.
Just thinking, just an angry apple orchard tender's gonna run out with like a pitchfork.
I imagined a hatchet, but yeah. Stay away from my apples.
Have you been to Farmer Maggot's crop again? We only stole like a bushel of potatoes last week, and then the carrots, and then the turnips after that. What kind of apples are these? Are these like the tart kind? Are they the sweet ones?
They're akin to Honeycrisp, that type of vibe of
Ooh,
apples.
All right,
Nice.
all right. I can dig
They're
that.
not Red Delicious.
Which
Yeah,
are
the
not,
red-
in my opinion.
Why would you eat red,
What?
disgusting apples?
Look, they're not Gravenstein apples, so they will always be inferior to me, but I will accept them. Gravenstein
Better than
apples are
Red
amazing.
Delicious, in my opinion. Sorry to anyone who actually likes Red Delicious. I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
You're
to anyone
wrong.
who
Your
likes
fun
red-
is wrong.
You can enjoy your fun, but your fun is wrong.
You just-
You're starting off in a good mood of stalling.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I think
Anyway.
Mariana really will be like, can we go to any destination that's on my map so that I don't have to go home? I really think that that's going to be the vibes
vibe.
here.
Mind you, there are people trapped inside the trench, and the more we dawdle, the less likely we are to recover them.
That's true.
But hey, apples.
Mariana will feed one to Biscuit
best friend.
like this. And then we'll like begrudgingly be like, okay, we gotta keep going. So we'll continue on down the road towards Slaughter's.
You continue going down the road as you travel like another couple more days. And eventually you begin to start passing like barns on the heading towards Slaughter Creek. You hear livestock, you hear cows, goats, and pigs, and chickens, and so on and so forth as you continue on to Slaughter Creek. And eventually, you do hit the settlement itself. The settlement is pretty average, like any normal village that you would see, except for these incredibly large trees that encircle the entire town. And as you get closer and as you walk past this threshold, you can tell that, oh, these trees serve as the magical protection to keep out monsters. It is a town. It's not like a hamlet or anything. It's bigger than Well Hollow, but it's pretty lively, if anything, for the fact that you hear a lot of animals. But there is a bustling market, there is produce, there seems to at least be an inn and a general store, etc.
That doesn't sell generals.
No, it does not sell generals. Mariana, have you been here? Did you pass this way when you left?
I think she would have avoided I think that she would have avoided going to cities, maybe passed by, but probably not like directly in. No.
Yeah, then you recognize this place, but even though you've never been here, at least recently, you would know that there is a print weaver here by the name of Lyra, which was mentioned to you by, I believe, Mara last session. And you know that this Slaughter Creek is about a day and a half away from the trench.
Okay.
Were you here before?
I think that my theory is, which is my character's backstory, so I don't know if you would call it a theory. But my theory is that this is the place that Mariana was originally, what's it called, imprinted, or
Or you got your first shrine that you went to
yes,
after you were born. Yes.
yes. I think that this is the first one that she went to. I don't think she would know any of that. She definitely knows that she is like, she definitely knew that she was a traveler and she had to keep it secret from a very young age, but didn't know, anything that her parents would have done to keep her safe. I think they protected her from that. So the less she knew, the more likely, or the less likely she was to accidentally share that with anybody.
Mm-hmm. But like when you were growing up, have you been here? Just like
No.
Okay.
No. I think I don't think she had left the trench except for when she left for like this adventure.
Then I don't think anyone knows where the Print Weaver is here. Luce, this town does not seem familiar. You don't have the familiar any familiar feelings. Oh no, I lied. Vago, you do feel familiar here.
Oh,
You're the only one. I almost forgot about the other amnesiac in the party.
Vago and I are just the Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other and Carl Weathers meme, grasping hands, double amnesiac, always forgetting where we've been.
Yeah, you definitely at least passed by it. It was more like a quick stop. You didn't go in, but you remember seeing this place. You remember the image of your brother walking into the town and then coming back out. So yeah, what are y'all doing?
I mean, well, we need to why can't I think of words today? Imprint ourselves, accolade, like ourselves.
Attune.
Attune ourselves. Yes, thank you. We need to attune ourselves to the Print Weaver, so that's definitely on the list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I also would suggest that we have a plan of action going into the trench. So we'll probably need to go somewhere where we can sit, all of us, and create a plan. So probably in some meeting place.
So my guess is you're going to try and find the Print Weaver first.
Yeah, tune first, and then probably find
a
good place to at least discuss before we head to the trench.
You never know when somebody's going to randomly stab you in the street, so you might as well attune first.
Yeah.
Don't give that look, Ange. It's technically true.
It's true.
At least this
like almost 6.5 feet tall. You really want to fuck with this lady?
Listen, some people do like to be finding out, so
They do.
Find out to an early grave.
That's their problem. If you ask around, you would be told that Lyra's home is just like a road off of town center. They tell you that she owns a laundry service.
Is that why her name is Lyra?
No, fuck it. That was not intentional. Oh my god.
Listen, I thought it was great.
No, more like the musical instrument, like a
Oh,
lyre.
like I thought it was gonna be really cool. Like it was like like cleaning.
No,
I was really excited.
that was not intentional. You are told she owns a laundry service in town. And as you get closer to her home, you do smell soap, fresh, clean clothes, warm water. It gets immediately more humid the closer you get.
Mariana will take in a big whiff. Like, it smells so nice.
Was the last bath you had in Perth?
Yeah,
Oh dear God.
we probably are rank.
Rank.
Hey, I have freshly new created skin. Thank you very much.
Oh
Oh, that's true. Yeah, both of us do. Both of us do. Yeah. That's
Does-
right.
Get
So you're
wrecked.
less rank.
So a question is, does that mean Luce and Vago have new baby smell?
I. Mm.
Because that's a lot more tolerable than being rank.
No,
I feel
because
like-
it's still been probably at least a week since they
Yeah.
got revived.
Fuck.
Ah.
God damn it.
So what we're gonna do in this town is find some soap so that every time we come across a small body of water, we can bathe.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Lyra has some Lyra running around.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Everyone
I-
took psychic damage from that.
I don't believe in stats for myself, but if I did, one of them at least would have taken a hit from that.
Yeah. My strength pool just went down.
Anyway, hat hurting. The four of you do approach Lyra's home. As I already described, when you get close enough and you pass that threshold, as always, you feel that little tug and pop and feel yourselves reacclimate to a new Printweaver shrine. And one of the first things you see is a middle-aged, average height woman with her dark hair pulled back in a ponytail. She's a little heavy set, and she's putting up, she's clipping like clothes to hang up and dry.
Hmm.
And as you walk past, she pauses for a second and then waves at you and gives you a bright smile, Mariana.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Your mic good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, friends. Hello, Mariana. It has been a very long time since I've seen you.
I'm sorry. Who are you? Well, I mean, but hi.
If y'all want to stick around, I can introduce myself. Don't be shy. It has been a very long time since I've seen you. Last time I saw you were a toddler.
I think that's true. I don't think I've ever been here before.
You had an accident. And your parents, I brought you back and your parents came and picked you up. It's okay. Memories from when you were very young often are forgotten for more important information and skills. It's okay. I don't take offense. But it is nice to see you again.
I think it's nice to see you again. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
It's okay. I'm Lyra. I'm the print weaver here. Nice to meet you. And she waves also to the other three of you as well. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
These are my friends. That's Vago, they're very nice. And that's Hale, they're very nice. And that's Luce. She's very, very nice.
I'm glad you found yourself in great company. I am surprised to see you, though. Not that I'm complaining. I'm sure it's been very stifling in home, but
I left there, but I don't really know how long ago.
let me think. It's been well over a month. I remember some traders have come by, gossiping that you disappeared over a month ago.
Oh,
Your parents are worried about you. And every once in a while I do see Blue whining, trying to look for you around Slaughter Creek. So I'm sure they're really going to be really happy to see you.
he comes all the way out here?
If you are going back, though, maybe I don't mind putting your friends up for the night if there's no room at the inn.
I think we're gonna stay here maybe for one day. We kind of have to figure out what we're gonna do next.
What do you mean?
Well, I have to go back home, and it's you understand.
That's why I offered a bed to your friends here. They wanted to wait for you while you went home.
I think they're gonna escort me as far as they can. As far as they can.
And like that, she's had like a bright smile on her face like this entire time, and like that just goes away. And then she gives Hale, Luce, and Vago like an incredulous look, like, you know what you're getting. You know the dangers. You know it's not very safe down here for the 4 of you.
We are aware. We in fact are doing this willingly and intentionally because we are hoping to recover some people who matter to us.
Oh. Well, if you already know, I don't need to repeat the dangers. I get enough flack as it is from the traders that come up here.
For what reason?
They just don't like me. They don't like me, they
You
don't
seem-
like any of the travelers, and
Well, you seem absolutely delightful and have been nothing but kind to us.
thank you. It's just, I get very tired about them preaching at me about how I'm desecrating the earth with my ink. So it gets exhausting to hear every time they're around.
Don't like that much at all.
We've been
learned-
we've been outside the residence, correct?
What was that?
We've been outside her residence, correct?
Yeah, you're outside.
May we come in to finish this conversation, just to get our things just set down to make it easier?
Give me 10 minutes, but you can make your. I have to finish hanging these up, but if you want to head inside, I will.
I'd be
in
more than
shortly.
happy to help you if you would like.
That would be wonderful.
Yes. Why don't I take care of this? How tall is she, by the way?
She is like 5'6" ish. She's shorter than you. She's shorter than a couple of you.
Except for the short king.
Yes. So yeah, you can help her. But she does wave to Hale, Mariana, and Vago. Like, if you want to go inside, make yourselves at home. Be my guest. And then you can help her put up the rest of the clean laundry. Loose.
I think Luce actually just wants to ask her. Was she always like that?
Was who like what?
It gestures in the direction of Mariana.
I couldn't tell you. I've only met her once. Twice, technically. Once when she was a young baby, when her parents brought her here the first time. In case something happened, she'd be able to be brought back. And when she was a toddler. I haven't actually been able to know and learn who she grew up to be.
To be clear, she's asking this out of earshot of Mariana and them, like while folks are getting their stuff situated. And I think she also asks, what were her parents like?
They're the type of people that are the type of kind that I wonder why they live where they live.
Fear is a very good motivator.
Fear and also
Inertia.
inertia, and technically, they might not be the nicest people, but they know how to protect their own. And in a world as dangerous as this, I don't blame them for taking safety, especially with a kid.
I understand it as well. I despise it, but I understand it.
A good parent will do anything for their children if they care about them.
Well, I think she's just helping finish putting one of the last things up. Is this dress yours by any chance? It looks lovely.
No, it's not mine. That is a friend of mine's.
A friend or a close friend of yours?
Just a regular friend. She does look lovely in it, though.
Well, you are no small catch yourself. You are quite a delight.
She'll just give you a coy smile and then pick up her basket and then walk in.
You are married.
Lucy.
What could I be for?
You
I'm
bet
allowed-
I'm polyamorous couple. Thruple.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
one
just
polyamory
because
exists.
you're tied down to the doghouse doesn't mean you can't run into the fence and bark.
That's the worst. One of the worst metaphors I've ever heard. It's very understandable, but also one of the worst.
Wow. I have no words.
Also,
Y'all are getting the bonk emote in chat from Turk, by the way.
all of you have sinned. I'm being nice and pleasant. Y'all can go to hell. Just what?
Already there.
Just imagining the look all three of you were giving me was just a variation of like a Scooby-Doo like tower of the three of you like looking into me talking with her outside.
When you all walk in, this home, even though it's like a living area, is just filled with work, laundry, clean that needs to be folded, stuff that still needs to be put in the wash, tickets everywhere, who it belongs to, so on and so forth. But it smells nice. Very clean. But the four of you and what?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's probably very humid in here.
It is incredibly humid.
Cough.
But eventually Luce and Lyra do come in. She puts her basket down, just, brushes off her hands, puts her hands on her hips, and she's like, what can I do for you?
Well, we were here to acclimate ourselves before heading off to our foolish errand.
Smart. I might be seeing you in several days.
Or minutes, considering. If we leave now.
About a day and a half to get there.
Good. Good to know. I think we might need a bit more information on the trench before we go in there.
Well, I can give you what I know, but your biggest well of information is right here. And she'll motion to Mariana.
Mariana,
Don't mean to put you on the spot, dear.
everywhere else that she can look is where she's looking. Well, I suppose. I don't really know what to say. I guess. What I told you about the meeting hall. That's where, when Octavia needs to speak to people, she gathers everybody there, and then she speaks. And there's some place to go downstairs there. The town hall, it's a little bit different than all of the rest of the places because it's like up, and everything else is not up.
Also, Mariana, town hall area is also where, because we've already established that this is more or less a cult, where the equivalent of services would be as well.
A lot of the houses are really cold because they're down houses. There's not really any up houses. The only like up places are the town hall. I don't really remember any of the other up places.
Well, you do have a couple. You might want to explain what you mean by up and down houses to your friends.
Oh yeah. Up houses are built above the ground, and down houses are built under the ground.
The trench is actually located quite literally in a trench. There are, I think I've seen a couple other small houses up top, Mariana. They're at least for folks who do have some animals.
Oh yeah, because the people who come here, the animals can't be in the down houses because they have to have sunshine.
Yes, and food and grass and such like that.
But most people live in down houses, and some people can have fireplaces in down houses, and some people can, and it's really cold. My house is a down house, and it does not have a fireplace, and it's very cold. But I think we probably won't go in the down houses. Well, unless underneath the meeting hall is a down house, and then maybe we'll go in there. I don't really know if it's. I don't really know what's under there though. I just saw people go in there, but I never saw anybody come out.
Also, just because there are more down houses than up houses doesn't mean that people don't go up. Like it's common to see people on the switchbacks leading into the trench, and there are some, maybe not houses, but activity at the bottom where there is a very small river.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's where people would like get water for cooking and washing and all of the
Etc.
things. So I'm assuming that there would be like clotheslines would be above ground, and probably there's probably little sheds or something along those lines of where they keep like buckets and tools and anything like that. But most everything is underground. And that also is like a protective thing. Well, because it's at the bottom of a trench, so building houses at the bottom of a trench not really going to work. But also, because there's no magic protecting the area, it's much easier to avoid attacks if everything is underground. So as far as Mariana knows, the only things that are above ground are these like ranches and like farms, and the meeting hall, which is where everybody gathers at least once a week, and then other like community things are held there as well, including the executions would be held there as well.
Right, you mentioned those.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, I only saw a couple, but they weren't always like that though. Well, I mean, they always were, but it was really different the last couple of years. More and more, there weren't really travelers dying. It was more they were taken into the downstairs part of the meeting hall, the down part. But the only people I ever saw going down there were the travelers in Octavia and a couple of the trained people that were really close to Octavia. Trained people like me weren't allowed to go there. It was only a couple that Octavia said were allowed.
And sorry,
I was gonna say, I guess that would be probably where we'd have to go for when we get into the trench.
I can't think of any other places that maybe they would be hiding people. That seems to really be the only place. And in the trench there's these tunnels. That's how we have all of our down houses, or there's these tunnels, and they're really kind of just all over the place. And we kind of just build in the tunnels little spaces for everybody. We don't like dig them out or anything. They just kind of were like that. They were like that for a really long time. But I don't know. They're everywhere, so I don't know if anything even leads to there besides the meeting house or not.
so even if we were to use the tunnels as a form of a way to enter the trench, we might run into people.
It definitely will. And then if you're lucky, the tunnel goes to the right place. But
Wow, sorry.
when we get there, they check everybody. They make sure that they know everybody who's coming in, and they're gonna check all of our hands. Well, maybe not mine, but they'll definitely check yours.
That's gonna be a problem.
Do any of you have gloves?
Fat lot of good that would do. Not to borrow your suggestion, they might ask us to remove our gloves to check our hands.
From passing travelers, I know they asked to see hands towards the entrance to the top, but if you have an alternate way of getting in, is there alternate ways? Once you're already in, they might not care.
Oh! Your dog.
Who?
How does it get all the way out here? Without anyone noticing.
I don't know. He's very smart. Maybe he knows some sort of secret way. Wait, Lyra.
Yes.
When was the last time Blue was here?
I saw him the other day, actually.
How long does he stay around?
He kind of comes and goes. I usually see him on the outskirts of town.
Maybe if Blue is still here, we can get Blue to guide us to where he comes out.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, actually.
And Blue, he's kind of big, so if they don't notice Blue leaving, I don't know that they would necessarily notice us, especially if we do it at like nighttime or something.
Well, looks like we've got a plan. We're going to need some gloves.
Mine. I have mine from when I left.
I'm sure you can find some at the general store.
All right then.
If anything, our local leather maker or our weaver can probably might have some general stock in store. Also, it is cold, so if you don't have something warm, I would suggest also getting something else just to bundle up.
Thank-
They always come by complaining and how it's so cold down there, and they're glad to see the sunshine. So
Thank you for this epiphany.
of course, anything for friends.
Um, if you all want to hang out and rest, I can run to the general store and get a couple of gloves for us.
This,
Might be for the best.
this is the kind that I have, and Mariana will like put down her pack and like rummage like through, and she'll pull out two pairs of gloves, and one is a pair of like they look like gardening or like work gloves. You know, they've got like leather on the palms and probably just like fabric, like so they're a little bit more breathable. And you can see they're pretty worn. Like she's definitely like used them. And the other pair is this pair of like mittens, like crocheted mittens. And you know how like Norwegian mitten design, it's got like the patterns and stuff. That's what I imagine it looks like. It's just like a pair of nice warm knitted mittens.
Noted. Warm mittens for the hands.
The general store is down 2 streets. Take a left, and you shouldn't miss it.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be right back.
Does anyone else have anything to say to Lyra? She's also been working this entire time. Y'all have been talking, like folding clean clothes.
I think after a little bit, Mariana will finally get the courage to ask her when she's like, when have I been here?
Oh, you were a toddler. I don't young. And when your parents, shortly after you were born, your parents brought you here to visit me. I also gave them all of your gifts that day too. And she'll like point to your armor. She'll point to your sword.
My chalice.
Well, I'm assuming that's in the bag.
Yeah. I didn't know.
I'm sure they didn't tell you just to protect you.
I think there was a lot of things I didn't know.
It was probably just safer. You were living in a very dangerous place for the person you were born as.
They're not travelers.
Nope.
Well, then why am I one?
Providence chooses, and none of us know why she wills certain travelers into existence and where they are born.
Do you think there's other travelers in the trench?
It's a possibility.
You didn't see any?
She thinks and stops and pauses. Actually, now that I remember it, I didn't meet the parent, but I do remember someone stopping by shortly after you were brought by as a baby. But they didn't stick around. I felt a traveler return and then left, and I saw someone walking away with a bundle in their arms.
You don't know who it is?
I never actually met them face to face, but it was very odd. It was in the middle of the night.
I wonder if they're still in the trench.
I don't know. At the minimum, they're attuned. I haven't felt them come by at any other point in the last 17, 18 years.
Mariana just thinks on that a little bit, like, who are all the people that I know that are about my age, which is gonna be, no small. It's not like, oh, there's two of us. It's me and George. Like,
There's probably like a good half dozen
yeah.
folks.
So it's like, it's kind of like and who knows if it's somebody that's still in the trench or somebody that left after they knew, that there was like that they were a traveler and like when, so I think she just kind of like ruminates in that a little bit, like, like maybe something's happening in the trench. Not like suspicious or anything, more just like, like I was born a traveler, this person was born a traveler, like I wonder why. And just kind of like thinks for a little while.
Hey, y'all. You're going to get gloves.
Yeah.
It's easy enough. Are you doing anything else? Are you taking any side tracks? Are you just going in and out?
Considering we have a time frame, it's in and out, 3 pairs of gloves and some leather cream.
Okay. Easy. Quick, easy. You are able to pick up what you need.
Hale scoots back, asks Lyra if he can borrow any of the washing pools, essentially, that have warm water in them.
Y'all can take a sponge bath if you would like.
Oh, no, it's for the gloves to break them in quicker.
Oh, sure, of course. But also, if you would like a sponge bath, you are all more than welcome to. No offense.
Thank you. I think that Mariana's relieved. Like, she didn't want to ask, but it's like, she knows. Like,
Anything else for the night besides hygiene, breaking the gloves, questions, so on and so forth?
No, because I think originally we were going to try to figure out a way to get into the trench without being noticed, but now new mission is to find out if Blue's still around.
I had something I was thinking of if it's possible, like middle of the night or somewhere before bedtime for everyone. Just Lou's just going to. Well, actually, before I ask, how many rooms are available to us before I start entertaining a thread of thought that is not possible?
She seems to have like one spare room that there's like a couple beds in. It doesn't look like it's not a very well furnished room. It's just like some beds and like a small table for like this exact situation. But she has her own room and then like a room with like 6 beds in it for travelers. Why?
You, Abhishek.
Ignoring
Not sorry.
what
not
my
sorry.
trolling castmate has posted in our private chat, because he
He's a troll.
is a dingus.
When we meet Blue, I'm gonna make sure that he eats you first, Vago.
Blue is capable.
I can't wait to show you all Blue.
I'm both excited and terrified. But I think so if it's just one room for all of us with just a bunch of beds in it, I think she will just while Hale and Vago are doing whatever their bedtime falling asleep rituals are. I'm just imagining like a long scene of Hale in the bathtub just singing very loudly and like
What's
some
new,
reason-
pussycat?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
I imagine like Italian songs, like
Yeah, Hale sings Italian opera while taking a bath.
Ave Maria.
Figaro.
like it's singing Carmen. Like
Toreador.
cats, herd. I think she just hopes to just knock on the room and see if Mariana has energy to speak just for a short time.
yeah, I think Mariana's okay. Like this is a very uncharted territory, so there's a lot of feelings, but I don't think. I think she's okay to talk. Yeah.
She just sits down. There's the small table. She just sits down one of the chairs and she just checks in. And it's like, so, how are you feeling about all of this?
I'm not really sure. It's gonna be really scary, and I'm really afraid for you and Vago and Hale. I'm afraid of that part. And I honestly don't really know anybody who left the trench and came back unless it was their job to do that. So I don't really know what they're gonna say about me, and I'm a little bit nervous to find out what's in the down room of the meeting hall.
My guess is that there will be a harsh reprimand for you. And my working theory is that death will follow soon enough for you at some point for returning.
I didn't think about that.
I have.
Well, I guess I tried not to.
It sounds more like it. That sounds more like you.
I didn't.
What are you
really-
worried about regarding us?
Well, if they've been doing bad stuff with the people in the down room in the meeting hall, then if they can get you, then maybe they would do bad stuff to you guys too. And I don't know what kind of bad stuff, but if it's like anything that I've seen, it's not good.
Mariana, do you know how many different ways I have died?
At least 7.
More than that. I have been impaled, I have been scalded, I have drowned, I have walked, fallen from great heights due to landslides and things of that sort. I've had people betray me on some occasions. I've had some people stab me for money and things of that sort because they did not want to pay me for protection.
Time a ghost killed you.
There was also that.
That's at least 7.
Mm-hmm. And there's more than that. I cannot speak for Vago or for Hale. But given that look that Vago has in their eyes, I do not think even Providence could stop them from saving their sibling. And I think much the same can be said for Hale and his friend. As for my... No, go.
I only died one time. I don't remember it. I was little. My mom told me I was really sick, and they had to hide that I was sick from everybody, because when I died from being sick, they had to go back and get me, and so they couldn't tell anybody. Which just made me think about, out of character, what did they do with the small child printless?
I don't want to talk about what was
Same.
done to.
Yeah, like that. The fact that the baby printless can exist, that is blowing my mind right now.
We're
Yeah.
gonna skip this little bit.
Yeah, agreed.
I think
But-
Mariana thinks it doesn't act on saying anything, like now that she knows that that's what happens, because she didn't know that before. It's like not gonna think about that either. I don't know. I don't know what it feels like to go through that, and or how it feels. I know how it feels to watch it happen, and it's not good.
Would you like to know?
I don't think so.
Neither would I. I'd prefer not to ever have to know again. But I want to make something very clear. I think all of us are willing to take the risk, not just for personal reasons, but also because you are our friend. We are willing to risk that leap into the impossibly terrifying place that is between death, for the sake of Vago's sibling, for Hale's friend, and for you.
Do you think that there's something worse than death? Because I think if there is, Octavia has figured it out.
When people think they have a good enough reason to do something, they will do anything. And belief is the fastest way to do that. Faith will lead you to do terrible, terrible things. More often than not, because you think you are doing the right thing.
I think Blue will like you very much.
I am partial to dogs.
He's really big.
I very much like big dogs as well.
I think you're gonna like him. I hope that he's still here.
Mariana, if Blue is even a fraction as enjoyable to be around as you have been, then we will get along just fine.
He's my best friend. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at myself.
It's both sad and it's both deeply sad and deeply funny at the same
Yes.
time. It's like my best friend's my dog.
My dog.
Man's best friend.
You're my boy, Blue.
My question is, Vago, is there anything you wanted to accomplish before we went to the next day?
I feel like knowing what's about to happen, like what's going to go down in the next coming days. Vago can't really seem to get any sleep. Like they're trying to fall asleep, but it's not really coming to them. Like they kind of just get up, kind of pace around a bit. Even like go outside at one point, just thinking about Heron.
The weather. Yeah, sorry, go.
I was gonna say, can Hale be outside just leaning against a wall smoking, and then just sees Vago come out having trouble sleeping?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to talk about it, or would you like a distraction?
Distract me, please, honestly.
All right. Well, remember when I said that I could teach you about some things about the ink?
Mm-hmm.
We could do a brief lesson if you're up to it.
Sure.
Right. Well, let me put my professor cap on. Just pipe in mouth. Do you know how the Paragons think that the ink itself and the people that wield it are abominations?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if I told you that we who have this ink inside of us are it's it's a part of us, just like how muscle, sinew, blood, bone, that sort of thing. And if you don't exercise said properties, they will lack after a while. There is a reason every night I come outside and practice my swords play. There's a reason every night I come out here and essentially play with the ink. It's to exercise it. And I find that the more I do so, the more in tune I am with the ink. And in battle, when it counts, the ink is there to provide for what I'm lack. I know you have this sort of weird thing going on with your prince, but the ink is inside of you, and honestly, I don't think you should be afraid to use it when the time comes.
Vago sort of looks down at their fingerprints. The sort of looking at how unnatural they are. It just they kind of hate. They sigh, knowing very full well that Hale is right, but at the same time, God, it's just. You're right. I've hated having ever since I found out about my prince. I've been loathed, to say the least, about using my ink. But if it'll help me find my brother, or if it'll help me even get to him, I'll do whatever I have to.
That might be something you need to work out on your own. I can't tell you how to feel one way or the other about yourself. But if you hate the ink as much and you're hating a part of yourself, Vago. And in fact, I think, given the chance, the ink might retaliate. It will fail you in a time of need. But there's a thing. Acceptance and time go hand in hand. When we do get your brother, when we do get Edmund, do you think maybe that you'll start liking yourself a little bit more?
Vago sort of. Vago chuckles a little bit, but then nods. I could. I mean, yeah. I think so. Hopefully.
If it does help, some time to meditate on the situation going on and gestures to the entirety of Vago might glean some insight into better utilizing your ink. But what I find also helps is a good jog. It's a bit late, but I'd say it'd be about 30 minutes to run around the whole village, if you care to join me.
Sure. Why not?
Physical exercise.
And Hale will give pointers like, did you know that if you kind of command the ink into your legs, you can move a little bit faster?
Ink doping. Great.
That's essentially what Hale does.
Ink doping.
Wow.
Is it really doping because it's natural to us?
So is blood.
So it's adrenaline.
So is adrenaline.
At some point, Hale will like get ahead of Vago and then stick his foot out to see if they jump.
You know, I'm gonna roll for that. I'm gonna roll for that.
Hello,
They jump.
I'm.
They jump.
Oh, there, you're getting it. Good job. At the end of the jog, Hale will kind of linger right outside of the Printweaver hut. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while, actually. I'm not sure if you've answered this question already, but would you prefer it if we still kept calling you Vago?
Honestly, you can tell like Vago, this is still something that they're still sort of. It's a thought that they're still grappling with, like whether they really want to be, whether they're okay with being called Gwyn again. But thinking back, especially back in Well Hollow when Mara told them about what happened with Heron and how Vago replied, if they come back, tell them Gwyn was looking for them. I think Vago would have nod their head, kind of like, you know what? If you want, I wouldn't be opposed if you or the others called me Gwyn as well.
All right, Gwen.
Still feels weird.
Maybe next time I'll change my name to Shirley, and I'll have all of you calling me that.
Surely you just.
Surely I'll get my way.
Amber.
No, that was the joke I was gonna make!
Yeah.
But Amber beat me to it!
This is karma.
Just the caption that says my name in the captions is.
We are stalling so much about
Absolutely.
not wanting to engage with it.
We gotta go. We must
What
go.
are you talking about? This is installing. This is good roleplay.
It's
It
good
is,
role play.
you're right.
It is.
It is
Also, we're
accepted.
stalling.
Yeah.
Does anybody really want to go to a place where it's like, hey, people hate you so much, you might die? Like, no, that doesn't sound fun.
You
to me.
mean
I
high
don't
school?
wanna go to Texas.
Heard. Cats. Heard.
Can we get back to the game before break?
Yeah, sure, sorry.
There's like
Yeah.
one thing I want to do, maybe if we could get to
Yeah.
it before.
Go,
Alright.
yes.
But
That's fine.
well, Vago will say, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed if you or the others started calling me Gwen.
We'll get acclimated to it. Oh, here, and just a pair of gloves smack into their face.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too, Hale. You too.
Okay. The four of you go to sleep, or try to go to sleep in Vago's case. And you do wake up in the morning. I'm assuming the goal is still to try and find Blue. Okay, what are you doing?
Okay, so I imagine we take care of things in the morning because we want to try to get to the trench at nighttime. So if Blue is still in the area, it's still going to take us a day and a half
To get there.
To get there. So we've got to figure out timing. So if we can find Blue by like midday, then we would get to the trench at like night. So it might not be a bad idea to go, like, wake up, pack up, eat, and then head like to the outskirts to try to find him.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you right now, Blue is not nearby Slaughter Creek. You do not see him. You don't see him roaming any of the fields. You don't see him protecting any animals because he's a protective dog. He loves animals. He loves you. He's got that guard dog instinct. You don't see him near any of the ranches, and you don't see him nearby.
I wonder if any of our characters know how to track.
Okay, so I imagine, you know, when like your dog gets out and you're like calling your dog's name and you have like a treat or like something that they like in your hand and you're like, Blue, like, and you're just like whistling, and like that's what I imagine Mariana's doing.
Yeah, he does not come near if you in this area.
I don't think he's around.
I would like to try to track Blue.
I don't think you'd be able to. Well, you might be able to succeed, but it's going to be hard. One, because he's not the only animal around here. This is a livestock and animal heavy just in general. So if there are tracks, they're going to be intermingled with everyone else. But I will give you a chance, but this is going to be difficult. This is going to be like, you're going to need like 5 successes.
Jeez. I'd probably have to dump all my wisdom to even just try. All right, let's do it. My brain's gonna hurt for a while, y'all.
Random lingering effect from your hangover.
So you can roll.
Could I also use Hardy to help for advantage?
Mm-hmm. You may.
That's 5 ups, right?
Yes. You need 5 and up. Yeah.
Well, I could tell you that it's gonna be close. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are able to find his tracks, but you cannot. You can follow them for a little bit. They do seem to be heading like out back towards the south, but you do lose them. You do find them for a bit, but it seems like he is heading back south. And when you find these prints, they're like the size of my hand.
They're like a wolf size, if you will.
Mariana?
Yeah?
What breed is Blue?
Breed?
Like the kind of dog.
Big?
Ah.
Big!
Are you sure we're not trying to track a bear?
No, he's a dog.
Sure.
I've seen a bear before. I killed one once.
Yeah. Does Blue equate to the size of a bear? Because these, and you'll motion to the tracks, are gigantic in size.
Well, like a baby bear or like a mama bear or like a daddy bear?
Maybe a bear in the gangly teen years.
He's like not quite a mama bear, but he's a little bit bigger than a baby bear.
So like A mastiff. Got it.
I don't know what that is. I don't think that Blue's that. He's pretty nimble. He's not very stiff.
Hale will walk up to Mariana, 2 hands on either shoulder. You are very pretty, you know that?
You are too.
Thank you. Blue's headed back south, but I can't get the rest of the tracks off.
He went back home, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Also, the tracks were a little old, so they weren't like recent. And she did say that he was out here like a couple handful of days.
oh, I guess that's why there's more than one letter in the alphabet, huh? Guess it's time for Plan B.
Are y'all heading south?
I think as a player that we already had the plan to go south and we've got some time to think while we head that way, so we
It's
might
true.
as well keep going.
Yep.
Okay. In that case, right before we go to break, you will have one night where you need to camp. So, since the beginning of the end of last session and now, please take a week's worth of ink off of y'all's inventory. I also want to know watches before we leave.
Hale will take either first or last.
Mariana will go first.
Okay, Mariana.
So Hale on last.
Hale last, and then Vago and Luce.
Vago can go with Mariana for first watch.
So you're gonna just do 2 watches?
Oh, yeah.
The 4 of you.
We could do. I mean, it's safer that way to do 2 at a time anyway. And we're in like really funky territory, so that might not be a bad idea to do.
Paired watches, yeah.
Yeah, Vago, they can be with Mariana. They'll do 2, and then Luce and Hale, if you all want to do 2 together.
Okay.
Or not, I don't care.
All right, that sounds good, everyone? Okay, everybody, please stand up, pet your pets, hydrate. We're going to be back shortly. We're going to take our break, so we'll see you soon. Bye! Hey, everybody, welcome back from break. We last left off with everyone trying to find Mariana's dog, Blue, and then setting up camp. So my players have decided that Mariana and Vago will take a first watch, and Luce and Hale will be taking a second watch. Mariana and Vago, your watch is pretty quiet in terms of like you don't see anything, you don't see any monsters. You do hear the howling of wolves in the distance. But other than that, you don't see anything. Go ahead.
Oh, I think Mariana like listens really hard to that, like, but what if it's Blue? She won't do anything about it, but I think if Vago were to look while that's happening, she's like astute into the direction that that's happening.
I think Vago might have caught a little bit of it, like probably like the tail end of like Mariana like listening in to the wolf cries.
But other than that, nothing interesting happens on your shift.
I'll take it.
Definitely.
And eventually, the next shift goes to Luce and Hale. Going for your sword, I see you. Your shift is also filled with the sounds of wolves howling in the distance. And I would like the 2 of you to please roll me a wisdom check.
Oh boy.
In the words of my Witcher kin, fuck.
Is this the same day that I spent all my
Yes.
wisdom points? Okay.
This is the exact night that you did. This is the night after
And-
you started tracking Blue.
And if we
Oh.
have no points in it, it's just
luck
a
check.
disadvantage, correct?
No, it's
Oh,
just
no,
a
it's
luck
luck
check.
It's luck check,
Yes.
luck check. Nope.
3 successes, one of which is a crit.
Okay. So, Luce, you don't see anything. But Hale, what you see, looking out past your camp towards the south, you do see a figure creeping towards your camp.
Humanoid? Animalistic?
Animalistic. It is dark. The light from the campfire can't get to it. It's still too far away, but you do see it beginning to creep towards camp.
Loose. Moves
Mhm.
slowly. Behind me about 20 paces. Something bestial in the grass.
Pulling the sword out. Wake or don't wake?
Just a lone target. Can I tell how big it is?
Pretty big. It's definitely roughly the size of maybe like a. How big are boars? They're
Pretty big.
They're
They're
pretty
big.
big.
They can get
Smaller-
pretty big.
It's definitely like wolf shaped.
With like his cup of tea, we'll just walk over to Vago and take a knee and shake them awake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy, it seems that rest has been interrupted. There's something in the grass.
Okay then. All right.
Calm tones, calm tones.
Okay then.
And then he'll also wake Mariana and give the same exposition.
Oh, she'll pull her sword out of her sleeping bag.
Just sleeps with the sword. Oh, baby, no. This is my emotional support sword.
I have so many questions, but
It's dangerous out here.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take
Like
this.
this.
Is Mariana polyarmorous?
No, she's monogamous with her sword.
Just the one, yeah. That's fair.
Does not apply over here.
Okay. And what y'all doing?
Okay, well, there's only one of them, right?
This creature is starting to creep up on the grass, and you see these large forward-facing ears and like big ruffling fur. Before it begins to run at camp.
At the ready!
Vago. Staff at the ready.
Bonk, bonk, bonk. And as it gets close enough, and as soon as it hits the light, Mariana, you see a big, large dog with bluish-black fur and bright blue eyes, who is gunning straight for you.
I will drop my sword and run and tackle him.
The three of you see this very large wolfish-like dog with dark grayish black blue fur, very akin to like a wolf, or at least has wolf ancestry. And it's kind of hard to tell how big this thing is, at least how high it stands before it, tackles Mariana. But I'm thinking its like shoulders are probably at least up to Mariana's hip. It is a big dog. And Mariana,
Well, she has it pinned down.
Mariana, you are. Please make me a strength check.
Oh no.
Fail it, let the boy win.
When
Oh no. This is the best I've ever rolled. Out of 9 dice, I got 7 successes.
Okay, in that case, you don't get like bulldozed over onto the ground. Instead, Blue has his arm, his paws and front legs on your shoulders, and he's licking your face.
And I think at that point, Mariana will just like bury her face into like his neck fur, since they're probably now like head to head height.
Yeah, roughly.
She's 6 foot tall, so like
I thought she was 5'10".
no, maybe she is. She's tall.
Tall. She's fucking tall.
Yeah, but she'll just bury her like her head into his neck fur and just sob and just like hug him.
Still looks like a damn fucking wolf.
I'm getting hugged by a wolf.
Mariana?
Mariana Cross.
And she's just crying and hugging him, and he's just licking her face, and she's just like nuzzling him and crying more.
You're getting all the kisses and all the tears getting licked up. And you're a big good boy, and he's just snuggling.
I think eventually she'll like sit down on the grounds and like let him get comfy by her.
And then he'll like put his front half on your chest, force you to the ground, and then looks at the rest of you with this just like very smart look.
This is Blue.
Oh.
He's a very good boy.
I have a cane, and this is an acting tool, but no one tell you otherwise.
You all get a big boof.
Well, great. We found Blue.
I guess we can go back to Plan A then?
Little traumatizing, but yes, we could go back to Plan A.
Only if Blue's okay with it.
Oof. Just a
Okay.
big old bark.
Looks to Mariana for translation.
And she'll at this point, like, she'll have her like hands on his head. Like, and I imagine her hands look so small. Like, as like a strong, tallish woman, she's like dwarfed by this dog. And you'll hear her explaining to Blue what's happening and what they need help with. And it's very serious. Like, she talks to him very much like she would talk to one of you all. Like, okay, Blue, listen. You know that it's really dangerous for us to go there. And all of my friends, they're just like me. And it's not going to be safe if we go there together. And I don't know what's going to happen to me after I left. But you're a really smart boy, and you got out without anybody trying to get you. And I really need you to show us where you got out so that we can maybe try to get in that way.
Oof. And he'll like lick you again, like wiggle out and like begin going over to first Vago, then Luce, and then Hale, and just like doing the big ol' sniff. Sniffs your legs, sniffs your butt, sniffs your hands, and then just like making the circuit before sitting down in the middle of camp with another boof.
I think he likes you.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, he might eat you. There's 2 options.
I'm sorry, did you say eat?
And Mariana will like smile a little bit.
Big dogs get hungry.
Luce gets it.
We're all snacks.
You most of all, Hale. Blue. Have at him. Have at him.
Please no.
Imagine Blue's like, does the dog like
The dog head tilt.
So,
I think it's more of an awkward like goes over, sniffs, and then like does an obnoxious like put your heads between the legs. Just to be awkward and just like make you fall.
great big beastie. Huh.
Mariana's digging through her pack looking for something to feed Blue.
Blue will plop his ass right down in the middle of the camp and lay down, right near your bed.
And she'll feed him and pour some. Take like a whatever kind of vessel she has that she can pour some water in and stuff, and we'll
Tail
just-
wagon.
yeah, make yourself comfy. Probably won't like snuggle in to the sleeping bag, but we'll probably stay like on top of it.
Perfect.
Luce immediately falls back asleep once her watch time is done. She's like, "Oh, new friend. Okay, I'm done." It's a big dog. Now we have a big dog to watch us. That's great.
Mhm.
And at least if he's going to eat anyone, he's going to eat Hale first.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like Hale versus Vago still scrawny folks.
All she got to do is, or all Blue's got to do is shake really hard. I think it could probably break Vago.
You're not wrong.
When the dog shakes their head really fast when they've got like a stuffed animal or something.
You're a plushy toy, Vago.
Adorable.
Carrying on.
So the rest of the night goes uneventfully. Every once in a while, you do feel Blue shift next to you. But other than that, no monsters, no beasties.
I think despite the fact that they're sleeping on the ground in like sleep mats, this is probably the best that Mariana has slept in over a month.
And when you wake up, Blue is up, standing, more or less. You're getting the vibe that he's keeping watch.
Mariana kind of like gets her, like wakes up and gets her bearings. She'll notice that he's doing that, and she'll give him a command. Blue, stand down.
He'll just sit, turn his head at you. Oof.
Good boy. Did you scare away all the scary monsters?
Oof.
I knew it. You're the bravest of us all.
And the sun has risen.
All right. So, Mariana, can you have Blue show us how to get in?
I think he can. I think the question is a couple of things first, though. We have the cart, and we don't want to pull the cart that close to the trench. And while Blue's pretty big, he can fit into some pretty tight spaces. I'm just a little bit worried that maybe he's gotten into a place that we might not be able to. I think we'll be okay, but that's just something to think about.
Oh, simplify the process. Vago, you still have... Gwyn, you still have that mirror, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Hale will blow into his ruby ring and summon Hardy. Hardy can follow Blue through the path, and Gale. Gwyn here can see through Hardy's eyes and report back.
Oh,
Not a bad plan, actually, yeah.
well, and she'll, I think that she's probably just been sitting next to Blue, like leaning on him. Blue? I need you to take us back home. The secret way.
He'll stand up, begin trotting away, stop, and then look back. Trot a couple more paces, stop, look back.
He's waiting for us. We better catch up.
Kick some dirt on the fire and move out.
Okay. So you went until noon the previous day to try and find him, but you couldn't find him. So you continued on and then went bedded down for the night. So a day and a half would put you at next evening to get to the trench like you all estimated.
Yeah, and I think a good plan would to be if we're getting there in the evening, not quite like nighttime, we can watch to see where he goes, because apparently they are not paying enough attention to him to like notice him coming and going, which I imagine he would roam the trench anyway. Like he was good. They didn't have to worry about him like
He's familiar too.
Yeah, attacking livestock or anything. So like it would probably be good to like see where he goes and then just watch the area to see if anything else comes or goes.
Okay. So he begins to lead the way and heads. Y'all are heading south, but at some point he begins veering off to the left, so a little bit south. And as the sun rises and as it gets into the sky and as it sets, you all are met with a very large stretch of flat land. And Mariana, you would know that in general, like what you're seeing, the flatness is the fact that this is roughly where the trenches, the gorge where you live, this large just wound in the earth. But he is heading towards the southeast a bit and not towards where the start of the switchbacks that lead to the trench are. And there's a lot of tall grass, a lot of like bushes and such like that. And eventually, as the sun sets behind the horizon, he eventually leads you to a bush, which has been pushed and moved and trampled, and you just see a dipping path into the ground. It doesn't seem to be man-made. It seems to be circular and rough-hewn, and it's not big enough for the cart, unfortunately. But it does seem big enough for at least him and the four of you. Biscuit might be able to fit, but it would be tight.
I think that it's probably good to leave Biscuit and the cart here anyway. And try not to take it any closer. I would just hate for anything to happen to that stuff. I think that'll be more conspicuous anyway if we're trying to take a horse and or cart into the trench.
What I can do is cover up the cart in some foliage to help disguise it. Leave it here. Maybe unbridle Biscuit.
Way
If
he can
Sorry, go ahead.
run away too in case there's any danger.
Yeah. You've been good to us, and I won't forget this. Apple, 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 apple.
And she will just rub her face into you. Are you still using the cursed mirror?
Oh yeah, it's called the Cursed Mirror.
It is called the cursed mirror, yeah.
I was not aware that was the name, and now I'm suddenly more worried about our plan here.
It's worth it, honestly.
Plus, I mean, we're giving it to Blue. Nothing bad would ever happen to Blue.
No, I'm not gonna kill Blue.
Amber stares pointedly at Mare.
I'm not gonna hurt Blue. Okay. So roll your d10 because the cursed mirror only lasts for 1d10 rounds.
Yeah. Ooh, 9.
Okay, so that'll be just it'd be roughly a minute that you'll be able to see through Blue's eyes. You're just telling Blue to go in and come back, or just to go in? What are you doing?
Yeah, I would say go in and come back. Because
So-
if Hardy's gonna be with Blue, Hardy will know a little bit more the concept of only go this long or this far.
Okay. So basically, what happens is Hardy perches on Blue's back, and Blue heads in. Roughly when they got out of sight, Vago, your eyesight goes dark. You cannot see, and then all of a sudden, your vision is looking at the back of Blue's head from his back. And for the next minute, you see Blue running down these dark tunnels. It is moist and it is dark, and he's just seeming to take turns that he just knows where to go. You do. Oh, it's only eyesight, right?
Only
Yes,
eyesight,
only
yeah.
eyes. You can't smell or you can't hear. But he is moving very quickly down these tunnels, and you see offshoots and so on and so forth. And then that's where it cuts out.
Oh, okay, whoa. Like, you see, like, Vago having to, like, readjust their eyes, especially, like, after what that was. Like, whoa, that was weird.
Was everything okay? Is Blue okay?
Blue's fine. Blue's fine.
And then, like 5 minutes later, Blue comes back. Like 5 to 10 minutes later, Blue comes back.
So what's the situation down there? Can we all fit, or do we have to crawl hands and knees?
Tunnel
No.
should have.
Yeah.
We should be
Fine.
fine.
Well, in the words of a great bard, hand me my shovel, I'm going in.
Not gonna say anything.
Willwood and the Tapeworms. Go look it up. It's a great song.
When Blue comes back, he is sitting, wagging his tail and looking at all of you. Hardy flies back to your shoulder, Hale.
What did it look like where he went?
Very dark. Probably just pretty much just describe what I saw through Hardy's eyes as Blue was kind of navigating through.
It sounds kind of like the tunnels that are kind of everywhere. I wonder if he just happened to find one that was isolated, maybe. I think we'll be safe. It doesn't sound like we'll run into anyone, but just in case, we might want to just be ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What exactly do you tell Blue to do to take you?
Ooh, that's a good question. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go directly to...
And just keep in mind, he's still a dog. He's smart, but he's still a dog. Wolf thing.
So I think the one positive thing is if Mary... So obviously I don't know this part of the tunnels, but if we can get home, then I can get us to the meeting house.
If you can get us to Mariana's home, I think that'd be great, because then we can all meet Mariana's parents. That's an RJ thing. RJ's excited.
Oh boy.
This is an Angela thing. I am not excited to meet her parents.
You don't know my parents' names. My parents have really cool names.
But anyway, what do you tell him? What do you say to him?
I will just kneel down, and I feel like I have done many, many times when we are out training or like out protecting. I will kneel down and look at Blue and say, "Okay, Blue, let's go home."
His ears immediately perk up and begins heading underground.
I will attempt to get him to slow down, but I imagine that I am used to just trying to keep pace.
Y'all will need to light a torch. Probably. It is dark down here.
DM, I have dark vision.
I cast
Do
magic
you?
missile in the darkness.
Alright,
It's
I
called
can-
a torch.
I can probably
Okay. Y'all have torches as part of your inventory, and none
We
of it was
do.
Yeah.
stolen. So, okay, I'm going to assume y'all light a torch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Hale is also going to motion for everyone to make sure their gloves are on.
It's really that
Okay.
necessary for me? I wear gauntlets
Yeah,
all the time.
You do have gauntlets.
What?
Okay. Blue begins to lead you through these tunnels. They are winding and dark, and sometimes sometimes at one point you do need to duck a little bit. It's just a bit too tall, but too short for you. But otherwise, you all can fit with no problems. These tunnels are unmarked, and they are really windy, and they connect with other tunnels. And eventually, at some point, Maria, you do begin noticing marks on the walls, which are used to navigate to certain areas, meaning you are starting to recognize where the trench folk live. And once you start seeing these symbols and just markings on the wall notched, you can lead from here. Even though Blue still knows where he's going.
Yeah. I imagine the first time she sees one, and I imagine they are like the symbols of the Paragon with hatch marks, like with a cross for like numbers, kind of like you would number a street or something. I think she'll stop and sort of just like reach her hand up and like trace one of them with like her like gloved hand and just get lost for a moment. And just like stop for a second. We should probably keep going.
All right.
Did Blue stop?
Blue stopped, yes.
Okay. She'll like walk up to him specifically and just give him a pet and say, let's go, Blue.
And he keeps going and he keeps leading the way. At this point, the four of you begin to see doors. These are some of like the few like wooden doors that you like, just any wood that you see down here, just separating the hallway to someone's residence. And eventually, as you keep going, Mariana, Blue stops in front of the door.
Stands there for a moment and looks at the door, and I imagine it's got like a little doggy door on it, so I'm sure Blue just
There's no point because it would take up half the door, so
Yeah.
no. He actually sits there, looks up at you, and if you don't do anything right away, he'll scratch at the door and whine.
oh
And you hear people beginning to rustle behind the door, making their way to the entrance.
Mariana will motion to the others to go further down, and she will crack open the door and then duck away
Inside?
outside, away from the door, to keep going.
So you don't go inside.
Mm-mm.
Blue begins to follow after you.
Go home, Blue. The door's open. Go home.
And then he'll head back, look back at you, and the door immediately opens the rest of the way. And Blue will reluctantly go inside.
And he looks back one last time before he goes in.
And why don't you tell me what your dad looks like?
He is very tall. I imagine he's probably 6'2" or 6'3". He's slim. He's not scrawny, but just a slim guy.
He's a marathon runner.
Yeah, kind of like that. And he's got long, imagine long johns, because we're at nighttime, so he's got long johns on, and he is rubbing his hands together to be warm, and his skin is kind of it's slightly tanned and a little bit leathery, he's been outside too long in his lifetime. And he's got salt and pepper hair that's more salt than pepper. And I imagine he's putting on some sort of reading glasses, or trying to see a little bit better to see what the hell is going on outside my door in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Blue, he does let Blue in, then he peeks outside and looks down both of the hallway before putting himself back inside and shutting the door. And you just hear him talking to Bloom, "Welcome back, Blue. I'm sorry. Did you have a nice night? I know you miss Mariana."
And I think once they're both inside, Mariana will go back to the door for just a moment, and just look at it. And I imagine that this door is a little bit nicer than the other doors, because I imagine that her dad was the carpenter and was the one who helped build the furniture and the doors and anything stables and things like that. So he made theirs a little bit nicer. In the doorway, in all of the doorways, is carved the symbol of the Paragon. But underneath the symbol, there are 3 letters. There is a C and an M and an M. And then slightly below it, you kind of really shakily, there's a B. She'll sort of just put her hands on the doorway and just lean her forehead on it for just a moment before meeting back up with the others.
You alright?
We should probably keep going. I can lead us there from here. We are going to have to go above ground, so we'll want to be especially careful.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And she will lead to whatever is the nearest outside entrance. I assume that there's, you could keep going and there's multiple, but everybody does have to come above ground as far as she knows in order to get to the meeting house.
Yeah, so in order to get there is a couple of the larger versions of what Blue took you down, basically. And some of these actually are partially natural or whatever made them, and partially man-made. Like some of it has been carved and like made wider. There are actual like stairs instead of just doing well, no, it would just be a ramp, but it's at a much less inclined, so it's easier to walk and you're not like climbing a couple entrances. Some railings have been installed for some folks who would need them to get to the meeting house. I need everyone to please roll me a dex check. I will say you can roll with advantage because it is nighttime and people have started to go to their abodes to go to sleep, but that doesn't mean there's no one about.
Oh boy.
Hale's gonna carry this. I hope so. 1. What about you, Luce? No?
I'm gonna spend a dex point to give myself
Okay.
another die on this.
Oh no.
What?
That was advantage gives you 5 and above, correct?
Mm.
That's 3 successes. I'm really glad we had the advantage, otherwise it would have only been 1.
And Hale.
6 successes, one of which is a crit.
My God.
Okay. Once again, carrying the team. So it
In
has been
stealth.
in stealth, true, but it is pretty quiet tonight, Mariana. You all hear the sounds of running water echoing throughout the cavern, especially when you see some entrances leading out into the trench itself. But you are able to begin making your way to the meeting house, being able to bypass a lot of where there would normally be foot traffic. But it's dark, it is evening. You don't really see a lot. Like every once in a while, you'll see someone on patrol just walking around, or just a random citizen like getting back late, or 2 young teens sneaking off when they're not supposed to, and ignoring curfew, such like that. But you're not seen. I hope they have a lovely night.
I hope their night goes uninterrupted
That's
by
I
whatever
hope they
we're
don't
about
get
to
caught.
do. True.
if they had seen us, it would just be one of those moments of like, I won't say anything if
Yeah.
you don't say anything.
Yeah, because I imagine they are under curfew.
Are they doing the most profane of acts? Are they holding hands right now?
They're definitely holding
I'm
hands.
sure that they're like, but it's like when you hold pinkies and they can quickly let go if they need to. So it doesn't.
I'm sorry, pinky holding is adorable and I love it. It's cute.
Mariana will watch them a little bit, much like she watched the ghosts from before. But like we'll shake out of it pretty quickly because this is important. So we'll make help Hale, guide Hale make way to the meeting house.
And eventually, you are on the opposite side of the gorge from where you would have approached it if you actually like walked in the front entrance. And since you did all rolled some, all of you collectively rolled pretty well, you're not seen, but you do see under the light of the moon a couple guards at the entrance on the opposite side of this where the switchbacks are.
And Mariana would make sure to point out anywhere that like that. We need to watch there for people. We need to watch there for people. It's sort of like a.
And you can't hear what they're saying, but you can definitely tell that they're talking and their voices are just kind of like going. But there is this large stone building, which Mariana has described as the meeting house. It is pretty plain. It is made out of stone. It seems to be a single story. There's like no bell tower or anything, but on the front doors is carved the symbol of the Paragons of Providence, which has been described as like this flower-esque like symbol.
Knowing that the doors would likely not be locked, since this is like a community place, Mariana will listen for just a moment, because some people do come here to like pray to Providence and things like that. So just a small cursory check to make sure nobody's in.
Roll me a wisdom perception check, please.
That's a fail.
You don't hear anything.
She will open the door slowly and just wide enough so she can like slip in. And will like, as she like slips in, you'll see her hand like poke out and like do like a one of these to the others.
Okay. When you go in, the moonlight shines through the crack in the door. And when you walk in, there are some sconces on the wall where it would be lit for just light and everything like that. And there's a lot of benches, chairs. It's a mismatch, but it's like kind of. If you know from experience, Mariana, that when there's a lot of people in here, it can feel kind of homey. At least not during lecture.
And I imagine that like one really shocking thing about this place that you wouldn't assume from the outside is everything is white. The walls are all painted white. The floors have been painted white. All of the benches and chairs have been painted white, with the exception of maybe some like, like scratches or a place where a kid has like picked at the paint. Everything, it is like sterile white.
That's terrifying. Thanks, Amber.
Like doctor's office, like dentist or doctor's office, like off-putting white, or like interrogation room white?
It's more like interrogation room, but somehow it's not. It's like feels not quite as cold. Like there's somehow like still like life in here, and I don't know if it's like the chipping paint or like the mismatch sort of like sitting area, but there's something that's still a little bit like humanizing in here.
Inside, also towards the front, is in stark white as well, a podium. And two of the sconces near the podium have been lit and are shining illumination throughout this entire room as you walk in and shut the door behind you. And the four of you notice that against this bright whiteness, you see someone inside, actually. And as you enter, they turn to look at you in surprise, like they were knocked out of thought. And Mariana, you see the face of a young man about your age, actually. His name is, oh god, let me pull it up to make sure I have this correctly. His name is Matthias Abessa. This is Octavia's son. He's got this like really like light brownish blonde hair, very round face, soft features. You two, for a brief period, did end up like training together, like when you were in your like early teens. Immediately, not cut out for it at all. He has said on multiple occasions he would rather create than kill, and he is currently, at least when you last saw him and you were here like the other month, that he is currently apprenticed to the leather worker, and he also serves as like a cobbler and making accessories. He's very kind compared to his mother's stark, cold attitude.
I think Mariana will put her hand up to the others, like, stop. And will walk up to him alone.
He kind of like stands up and like stares at like you, but also like looks at Luce and Hale and Vago. And before looking back at you, Mariana, you're back. Your parents have been worried about you. Do they know you're here?
I hate to ask this. I need you to go.
I don't understand.
She'll, like, walk all the way up to him and, like, will reach out her, like, gloved hands to him to, like as like she also wants his hand.
He is wearing fine leather gloves that he probably made himself, and he puts his gloved hand in yours.
Mariana will cover his with her other hand and like step a little bit closer so that they're pretty close.
Yeah.
Please. I really just need you to go.
And he'll look over your shoulder, look at the three of you, looks back at you, Mariana, and nods.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're doing, but be careful.
I always am.
Yeah, well, that's not the Mariana I remember when you were told to not run with a sword and you did when you were like 10.
Get that bad of a scar.
All right. And like he doesn't need to know what to say, but like he pulls his hand away and walks past you.
Yeah. She'll stop him quick and give him like a quick, really tight squeeze.
He'll hug back. And then like walk and then like do that little thing where he quickly walks past y'all, the other three of you, and like flips out the door.
Mariana's probably been holding her breath this entire time. Like, obviously she's breathing, but you know, that feeling where you're like barely breathing. I think you can hear her go, just like let all of this big breath out. We're very lucky. If anybody were to be here, he's who I would want to have been here. Let me show you where I've seen the people go. And she'll walk back past. I imagine there's like a lectern. And we'll go all the way to the back wall behind the lectern and turn to the left where there's a very narrow hallway where if you weren't right here up in this space, you probably wouldn't notice it's here. And I imagine not many people are allowed back towards like the altar space. And I imagine that Mariana didn't even know that this was here. This is just where she has seen people walk and disappear.
Well, standing at the precipice, I thought I would be ready to dive right in, but now I'm terrified of what we might find.
This is the hardest part for me. Everything else I could imagine, but once we cross this, sort of just like gestures to like the darkness that I imagine the hallway goes down towards. I have no idea what we're getting into.
Even so, we have to go. We've come too far. I am not... Val can't even finish that thought, but they're gonna take a step forward towards the door.
Wait.
Shout.
I have to say this. There's no magic here. There's no ink. These people, someone that we might run into, if they have been trained to protect, they will fight with everything that they have. They don't use magic because they don't need it. They've learned to fight against magic without it. No, it seems like we may be able to best anybody with the ink, but I wouldn't rely on that. These people, they know what they're doing.
Understood. I will level with all of you. I know that they are only here to do their jobs, but if they do come after us, I will do everything in my power to protect us.
They've made their choice. So have we.
If they're doing the horrible things that you all have said that they're doing, they'll deserve whatever's coming to them anyway. Take them out and let Providence deal with them.
What was it you said a while back, Hale, about going into something new? Into the breach?
Into the breach.
Push on forward.
Okay. The four of you begin to descend. And you are met with more cold, dark hallways. Eventually, the whitewashed walls do fade to stone and rock and dirt before the four of you head deeper. And even though we haven't hit time yet, I think this is a really good place to stop for next week. If there's anything you wanted to talk about in last minute, please go for it, but I don't think we'll continue with what you're going to find tonight.
I think Mariana had her last warning. Don't underestimate these people just because they don't use ink.
I'm ready to die.
As they're walking down, Hale will slow his pace and match pace with Luce. While we're down there, come to realize something about this entire situation. I have one big ask. No matter what happens down there, please don't hate me. Because I find that there is a anger that is bubbling up, and it's demanding, to say the least.
Are we allowed to be fully angry here?
I don't know. Anger clouds the judgment and makes you sloppy. I'm trying to keep that in check. But depending
Also
on the
tempers
state
your
of...
focus
It
in the right
does.
context.
I don't know what we'll find with Edmund. They've been down here long time. And if worse comes to worse, I don't think I'll be able to handle it.
I think while they're heading down, Mariana will fall back to Vago and sort of just grab his arm gently as they're making their way down.
And Vago will sort of look over, feeling Mariana grip their arm. You okay?
I just want you to know, whatever they've done, they're going to pay for it. If it means dying 1,000 times, they will pay.
Good. It's kind of the plan I was going for. Minus the dying 1,000 times part, but, you know.
You know what the best part is?
What?
If we die, they have to fight the Printless too.
Yes! The definition of someone coming in to play with marbles or jacks and be like, I'm just gonna take my marbles home now.
I forgot about that.
We did.
Mariana
Okay.
didn't.
I'm so glad y'all didn't forget about this.
Man.
I think she'll
Probably
she'll let go at that and take her pace back.
Vago's, before Mariana speeds off too quickly, Vago's gonna kind of just shout out to her, thank you, you know?
Don't thank me yet. Who knows if I'll save you another time or not. Just sort of like very serious tone to that.
All right. I think that's a good place to stop. All right. We're going to go around, say hey, hi, who we are, where you can find us, and so on and so forth. So, who would like to go first?
I can go first. I started us with recap. I can start us off with saying the outros. Hello there, folks. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I have been playing Luz del Valle, otherwise known as Lucia Billet. You can find me for the finale over on Girls Run These Worlds for Ballad of Conjurers. I believe it's 2 p.m. EST, where I have become a phoenix, a reborn phoenix that has now gained a portion of power over the domain of life. The only problem is that there's a giant fucking pissed off archangel who wants the rest of his domain back, and I'm just gonna look at him and say, "Go to hell, you nerd," and kill him. So tune in for that. That's gonna be fun. And then also here next week, where I'm so excited for the finale because I have literally had my leg doing anxiety bops this entire session. So that's me. That's where I'm at.
Hello, everybody. I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I sometimes stream with my friends. Catch me on the Indoor Adventures tomorrow at 8 o'clock EST, or 8:30 EST, where we're doing a D&D homebrew campaign. We're in space! We're going to recruit some space pirates to help us fly to a ball of worms in the stars.
What?
Yeah. We're level 20. This is like the norm now.
Okay.
Thursdays over at the Hype Goblins, where we do another D&D 5e homebrew campaign, but it's all third-party content. I'm a dragon boy in a dragon world, and I just had my first case with the person I'm courting. It'll be fun. We're in a hedge maze. Very big difference in the two games. Saturdays over at GGK or G Game Nights, where we do a game of Parslings. It's an interesting deck building game where you draw cards instead of roll dice to do successes. I play a werewolf boy in there. I died once, and now I've got this cool knuckle buster thing and a shield. Finally, Sunday. Well, no, not next week. We're off for 5 weeks then. Back here again! Sunday evenings. Yeehaw, that's me.
Hi everyone. My name is Amber and I use she, they pronouns, and you can find me just about everywhere on the internet at analog_Amber, including here on twitch.tv/analog_Amber on Sunday mornings, Monday evenings, and Friday evenings, where I play a variety of games and sometimes curse a lot at the games that I'm playing. I have a lot of really cool announcements coming up that I can't tell anyone about yet, but I am so excited to be able to share some really cool news for things that are going on for the rest of the year, including some tabletop stuff, some charity stuff, some other stuff. so please follow me on Twitter, on Twitch, and get to know what's coming up in the near future.
Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange. I use he, him pronouns, and I've been playing Vago Viator, aka Gwen, who uses they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at neon_Raiden. Voice actor likes to talk about all the nerdy things in life, especially tokusatsu. If you're a big fan of tokusatsu, ooh, reading good this year. Yeah, you can also find me on the Epsilon Story podcast as the voice of Lord Charlie. That's on Spot. You mainly find that on Spotify. And you can also catch me here on Sundays, especially next Sunday for the finale of this wonderful series.
And that leaves me. Hi, I'm Mary. You can find me on Twitter, Archmage of Dice. Some folks have already mentioned it, but the finale next week here, 6 p.m. on Neon Lights Roleplay. Get ready. On Saturdays, we're coming at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Sword and Key. We are coming back to our main campaign after 4 weeks of one-on-one dev scenes with each of the casts. So this is going to be exciting. We'll also be having some guests soon. And starting on Wednesdays, August 2nd, I will be running a game of Magical Kitties Save the Day to raise money for JDF International as part of Team SideQuest's fundraiser for August. My title for the campaign is Magical Kitties and the Creepy Caper Mysteries, and the cast announcement should be going out tomorrow. I'm really excited. Please come join us and help us raise money for a cause that is dear to my heart. We are going to go raid Indoor Adventures, where they are playing Apocalypse Keys, and one of our lovely staff members is on that, and it's their birthday, so go please say happy birthday to Heck. We'll see you next week. Bye!